I figured it out. I've done it. I've come up with an idea of how to save the economy. The greatest stimulus of all time. Hear me out. What if we took Magic the Gathering and Marvel cards and put them together? Oh my God! We would sell a bajillion, gazillion dollars, literally. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this video, Marvel cards are exploding again. Again. That is right. It's been long enough. It's been one of those times, you know, we always got to wait like a few months or so, you know, it takes a little bit, but here we are once again with sort of a, you know, I don't know, it's like a yearly annual Marvel trading card video on the channel. Comic collectors, I know, boo, but this is important. This applies to you guys as well because there is some comic news that relates to this. And also, what's most interesting is perhaps the fallout could be a very, very big thing for comic books as a whole. So in this video, we need to talk about the Magic the Gathering collaboration with the Marvel IP, how these Marvel trading cards are probably going to sell extremely well, not just with Magic the Gathering collectors, but also comic book collectors as well. And on top of that, Upper Deck announcing reprints of the 1992 Marvel Masterpiece set. Oh boy, foil, gold, shiny, whatever. We're going to get a lot of it before Upper Deck loses this license, and we're going to talk about it in this video here today. But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps for our channel, doing those things. I was already rich, man. I already had the Deadpool rookie card, which, by the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys one of the sales of a recent PSA 10. But let's get into this video here today. Now, it all started at New York Comic Con. You guys saw this? You guys remember this? Marvel had a collaboration with Magic the Gathering. They're going to be doing Magic the Gathering Marvel sets. And at New York Comic Con, they actually gave out comic books that featured Storm and Wolverine trading cards printed on the cover of them. They were actually a Wolverine book, a Storm comic book, and then inside the packs that were given out at their panel, they also had the Doctor Strange Counterspell card. And as you guys can see, I mean, selling upwards of $725 for the set, you know, originally at New York Comic Con, then followed by $600 for the set, then $600 for the set. Obviously, as things do, you know, they start to go a little bit further down. But still, even as recently as, you know, within this last week, I mean, just the comic alone, the Wolverine comic, still selling for $100 here, $100 here, $100 for the Storm. And this, of course, is just the comic book by itself without the trading card. If you add the trading card in here, which you can see, Doctor Strange trading card with a Wolverine comic book, $175. Again, a lot less than what it was selling for at New York Comic Con. But you can still see that here we are, you know, a couple weeks removed from this, and still a lot of excitement within comic book collectors, and I suppose the Magic the Gathering fans themselves, which leads us to the next part of this. The Marvel Super Drop, Marvel Secret Lair Magic the Gathering. Now, I have to kind of nerd out a little bit here and explain Secret Lair, Marvel Magic the Gathering. Swag, what is this? I am a novice. I don't know anything about this stuff. Well, let me try to do my best here. Magic the Gathering is a trading card game. They always release, you know, expansion sets, you know, here and there, but they have a specific type of set that they will launch occasionally called Secret Lair. And it tends to be that the Secret Lair sets are usually collaborations with other IPs. For instance, they did the Lord of the Rings one. Remember when we talked about the One Ring card that Post Malone bought? Or they do collaborations with Fallout, you know, the video game, or they do collaborations with other IPs that, you know, people are familiar with. And this most recent announcement is them doing a collaboration with Marvel. And what's different about Secret Lair as an expansion is that they come out with drops. You know, it's more of a limited print run. You know, it's not necessarily like the other Magic the Gathering sets where they're kind of, you know, open order, if you guys are familiar with that. These ones are more limited. And as you guys can see, grayed out, sold out, sold out, sold out, craziness all over. Everything has been bought. And now you go over to eBay and you can already see how much these things are selling for on the secondary market. To put it into perspective, the retail of this was around $250. Now we're getting instant new listing buy it nows for $400 for the entire set. Absolute bananas sales going on the secondary market. Look at this one. New listing, instant buy, $450, double the price. And I think that this is going to be a real massive success and something that I think is really interesting, especially if you're somebody out there who is an LCS owner or maybe an LGS owner, or or even better, if you're somebody who has a shop that actually has a comic side and a game side. I'd actually be curious to hear from you guys in the comments. I mean, how much crossover is there between your customers that say buy Magic the Gathering or buy Pokemon or whatever the case is, and then also will pick up a comic book from time to time? Because I think that this is going to be a huge boon for a lot of comic books themselves. I mean, you have a huge trading card fan base. Frankly, that's probably even bigger than the comic book collecting fan base. Ones that are fans of Marvel, they're fans of, Magic the Gathering and trading card games and things like that. They're also the Marvel trading card collectors that are going to probably be interested in picking up, some of these Magic the Gathering trading cards. And you have all this audience that, maybe they don't really read comic books, but if they're all of a sudden picking up all these Marvel, Secret Lair decks, and then they're in the store that also has comic books, on the other side of the aisle, I mean, that might actually start to bring them into, the Marvel comic book ecosystem, which I think is really interesting overall. And you guys can see, I mean, look at the numbers just for the individual cards. I mean, Avengers Mansion, $46 by itself. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. $99 right here for this sort of foil sealed set. I mean, $100 there, $79. I mean, look at the money that is just being printed with this stuff. It's absolutely insane how much of this has been selling. And this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the first kind of Marvel product that has come out with them and Magic the Gathering. It's going to be crazy to see how this continues to sell. Not only that, I mean, check out this, guys. Shout out to the Magic Art Market Facebook group. If you guys don't know, this is a Facebook group that basically works as an auction house. They sell Magic the Gathering original art, usually by the artists that do the work. And anytime the artwork is, announced publicly or the sets actually come out, usually this Facebook group gets flooded with a bunch of people who, are interested in auctioning their artwork. And what I thought was really interesting about this is how much the Marvel cards are already selling for. I mean, this is not going to be something that ends until next week, but this is the original art for that Wolverine card right there, which, as you guys can see, absolutely beautiful piece right there, already sitting at $20,000. Now, to put it in perspective, when you have like a Magic the Gathering artwork, let's say it's a really cool character with a cool heroic pose, I mean, generally speaking, I see them sell around 7, 8, 9, 10 grand, maybe upwards of $12,000. To see this artwork already at $20,000 is pretty incredible. In my opinion. Here you have an Iron Man card. Now, again, this isn't necessarily Iron Man. This is Galvanic Blast, which is not necessarily his main hero portrait one, but this one already still at $6,500 before it ends. You have some other ones here. This Captain America one already sitting at $13,000. Absolutely insane. And then you have the Storm piece right here, which is another kind of, I guess, instant iconic piece coming out of the set that is already at $20,000. So it's unbelievable how much this stuff is selling for, the excitement around it. And again, I bring it all up because I feel like it's a crossover of Marvel trading cards, and also, a lot of that audience might get pulled over to the comic books themselves. Speaking of Marvel trading cards, we got this news. We're doing a whole smorgasbord of, Marvel trading card conversation in this video here today because, again, like I said, it's sort of the annual video here. So I got to get in all the information so that you guys are aware of what is going on. But read this headline right here. 2024 Skybox Marvel Masterpieces 92 Platinum Trading Cards. 2024 Skybox Marvel Masterpieces 92 Platinum Trading Cards from Upper Deck is the Platinum edition of the original 1992 Marvel Masterpieces. In this set, you will rediscover the original artwork via enhanced variety of inserts and parallels such as Battle Spectrum, Precious Metal Gems, and variant covers, all highlighting Marvel characters in the brightest way possible. Can I get a little bit of a translation? What does that mean, Swag? Well, in short, they are reprinting the classic 1992 Marvel Masterpiece set. Upper Deck is doing that, and frankly, Upper Deck is actually about to lose the Marvel license. So I think that this is sort of their last hurrah. Like, let's go to the well. Let's take that set that everybody loves, the classic Joe Jusko artwork, and do a reprints of them where we add a bunch of chromium inserts, we add seismic gold, orange lava, emerald surge, golden treasures, rare precious metal gems. Let's add the numbers. I mean, this is going to be absolutely insane. This is going to sell extremely well, I think, on the secondary market. And I think a lot of people in the card world are probably excited about this. But this is also, for you comic book collectors, this is one of those things where, we're basically doing the reprint, slap some foil on it. Let's make it manufactured scarcity and make people go crazy on the secondary market. Basically, a whatnot pack. So now we have this sort of simulacra where comic books and trading cards are copying each other, and we live in this world where everything is reprinted and everything is shiny, and people are going to ultimately lose their mind buying all of this stuff. So pretty crazy to see that, here on the heels of Magic the Gathering doing its collaboration with Marvel, and those cards already having a fervor around them. You have this announcement. I think that these are going to be some of the most popular sets in the Marvel trading card space because everyone already loves the Marvel Masterpiece cards. Those are everyone's favorite cards. But the thing is that they were, massively printed. There's not much scarcity there. So they don't necessarily hold the same value as, some of the other precious metal gem cards that came out later do, or, some of the other interesting, obscure Marvel sets. But if you have the artwork that everyone loves, and then you come out with, numbered versions of them that are actually limited and all of that, I feel like this could be one of the go-to sets in this very sort of still, young space that is the Marvel trading card collecting community. So very interesting to see that overall. Speaking of massively printed cards, here you guys have to see it. I mean, this is one of those things where it's not long enough for me to have done a video on it, but I thought that this was interesting because this ended only a couple weeks ago. You got the 1991 Impel X-Force Deadpool rookie card in a PSA 10 selling for $656.25. Pretty crazy to see that. I mean, do you guys remember during the COVID times, when we had the Deadpool rookie card selling for like, I don't know, what was it? It was like $7,000, $8,000, something crazy like that. Well, here we are, years later at $656. Not quite what it was back then. But, hey, still people out there that want this card. And again, one of the reasons why it wasn't able to sustain that $7,000 price tag is because there's just too many of them out there, right? Like too much printing, too many copies, going on there. It's going to be a race to the bottom. But at the same time, with these reprints of Marvel Masterpieces, if they put limited numbers on them, those could be ones that command big numbers. Now, just to round out the video, a couple other little things just to cover some sales. I thought this was really cool. The 1993 Skybox Marvel Universe Series 4 original production artwork. You guys remember the box art? How cool this set was? Man, this gives me the member berries. Selling for $6,562. Another set of Marvel trading cards here. Series 1, maybe the greatest set, the most member berry set of all time. These 4 cards, famous battles. You got Daredevil, Kingpin, Venom, Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, Thanos, and Captain America, Wolverine, selling for $12,500. The original artwork right there. This, of course, done by Mark Bagley. Absolutely an amazing piece to own right there, and a really cool thing for that person to add to their collection. And man, oh man, here we are, Marvel trading cards once again, getting a lot of attention out there in the market. Certainly in the Magic, the Gathering market, in the trading card market. And I think that this is going to be a big deal for comic books for the future. I mean, let me leave you guys with this. Think about this. What do you have to do to get new people into comic books? How to get the young kids into comic books? Well, in my opinion, and I think that this is true, I feel like kids, generally speaking, are more into trading cards than they are comic books. And I think getting them into the ecosystem of the Marvel IP by way of, reprinting Marvel Masterpiece cards or getting them to play Magic the Gathering and things like this, I think is going to be the best gateway to get them over to actually reading comic books. I mean, you guys may disagree with me on that, but be curious to hear what some of you LGS owners have to say about that, or the LCS owners or the hybrid stores. How many of the kids that buy the trading cards eventually make their way over to the comic book? I'd be willing to bet that it's a lot of them, that start there and then maybe make their way over. But very interesting to see that Marvel trading cards once again exploding out there on the comic book market, and I'm all for it. Anyways, that's all for this video. Let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about Marvel trading cards? What do you guys think about this Magic the Gathering collaboration? Are you guys going to pick up any of this stuff? Are you guys excited about it? Did you guys pick up that comic book that came out of New York Comic Con? What do you guys think about that? the greatest card in all of Marvel trading card history, Darkhawk. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that's all for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. See you all next video.